like we're live. Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ark, and yeah, we're back with some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Episode 5, Rise from Ashes, and today is day 3, I believe. Spent a whole 2 hours yesterday investigating, only to be even more confused by what the heck is going on, and also being given luminol, blood testing, and fingerprint testing. Which I'm sure is probably going to play a very crucial role in this case, because those were like selling points of the DS version. February 24, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2, in morning time, roughly. So, what you thinking, Mr. Wright? I'm thinking the prosecution is as confused as we are and no one has a clue what's going on. I mean, a victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time by 2 different suspects. Not to mention one of them being me, and, well, the other one being Meekins. Oh, hey, sis. Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday, I was indisposed. Huh. Well, I hope it didn't hold you too long for questioning and, rough you up a bit. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. Plus, it wasn't that bad. But, so, how'd it go, you know? Anything important go down? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. Plea bargain? Is that some sort of... Is that like a flea market or something? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. Wait, but Lana, doesn't... Are you saying... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. So... Okay, Miss Sky. Look, we found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Oh, blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact, that were wiped clean. That's pretty much our trump card here today. I mean, you do understand what this means, don't you? It's very likely he's involved. So, in order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall? Well, we gotta play with the cards we're dealt, you know? Otherwise we won't get anywhere, right, Sky? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Oh boy, I plan to. Gonna round me up a cowboy here. February 21st, 10 a.m. on a dot, District Court, courtroom number 9. As it is 9 different courtrooms? Wow. Does that mean there are 9 different judges? Or is it just this one old dude?
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor?
The prosecution is... Huh? I'm afraid I don't understand. What's this? You young kids are going about? Well, quite simply, it takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet, the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's just ain't physically possible, is it? It was more I heard the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yeah, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Yeah, okay, that sounds pretty messed up.
One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Nothing forged, mind you. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In doing so, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Wow, look at him, he's so dreamy. That's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart from, well, you. It just sounds so on top of things. So dominating. Even though he has no clue what's going on either. Hey, I have plenty of good points that I can talk about myself. I mean, for one thing, I'm very good at pointing my finger.
Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? He's here? In this court?
Yeah, and you will never guess what he's like. Things are getting wild already. And this sad guy. Oh, well, I see. Yeah, okay. My seat fell there.
Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir. Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation, well, that would be murderer, sir.
Huh. Oddly cooperative. So... is that a confession? Are you telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir.
Well, actually, what we...
Sir, I'm what you'd call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend and are not liable.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir, to help me help your client out. Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir.
Give us your report of the crime. Consider that in order. And don't be so cooperative. It's actually having the opposite effect.
Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir, by the older generation. Huh. We can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm in the workplace.
This might be one of the strangest suspects ever. Crime report, sir.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day.
Well, that's suspicious already.
I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it, I guess. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
So, the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir.
I see. Makes sense. And then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
We need something more. We need a lot more than just his statements to work with here. I mean, his statements are already very vague as it is. Okay, so so it's not my note as assigned guard. Let's just press him here, see if he can tell us more. So, hold on. Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I'm in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Okay. Now that's a scary thought.
Evidence transfer was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Watches?
Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
Transferring this thing? I see. Sounds like a very important mission. Yes, good work, Mr. Meekins.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
I spotted a suspicious man arrested in this room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. Suddenly attacked. Okay, so spotting a suspicious man. That doesn't really stand out, does it? But this part does, because he says he was attacked, but how was he attacked? Why? Hold it, so you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir, a knife.
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. Yeah, you aren't exactly the kind of person that just, comes in subtly. You're the kind that announces his arrival with a speakerphone. That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. And that's how I got the gash on my hand. Well, I mean, maybe if you hadn't freaked out like that, your hand wouldn't, When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life, then I did it. Okay, now we need to press him on this. What did he do? What exactly do you mean when you say you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. Man laid us down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him. You took his knife? I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. Your eyes, I see. I think this guy was just really scared and desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Maybe we can ask him which officer? Hold on, about what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, yes.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir, the Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Okay. Well, I guess that's a relief, somewhat.
So this is like what he was telling us yesterday. And we need to try and skim some more details for him. For starters, what was an officer from the General Affairs Department doing in there in the first place? Alright, let's press him for all he's worth. We haven't pressed this statement, have we? Hold it. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card. Am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right? Oh, there it is. I found it. This is the one right here.
Oh, could you read us the number, please?
Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice.
Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see, so it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir, that was when I spotted the man on the security camera.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor, only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim?
He's got a point.
Yes, Officer Meekins?
Well, with regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The chief delivered this to him this morning, too. He didn't give it to us? That's weird. The chief delivered it this morning? What is that thing? A videotape? Wow, I haven't seen those in years.
Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection. What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake.
I'm just doing what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at, actually. Looks like communication with the police department and the prosecutors is smooth as ever. Something's going on here.
Well then, let's just have a look-see. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Could we please stop using the word murder, sir, on me? It scares me.
A video of a real murder.
What are we getting ourselves into?
Oh god, it's the Blue Badger! The murderer is the Blue Badger!
Oh, there's the coat Detective Goodman was wearing. There we see him taking some stuff from his locker. So I guess that would prove that that's him. There's Meekins. Oh, he's a fighter, and oh! God damn, why does the camera have to swing around like that? And there's Meekins. But where's the perp? I mean, the victim. Hey, wait a second, did something get stuffed into that locker? What the?
Well, I believe we're all thinking and seeing the same thing. So what the fuck is going on here? How do we deal with these unsettling feelings within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Oh, sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire Criminal Affairs Department, sir. The Blue Badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised that this evidence is shoddy at best?
And why is Edward focusing on the Blue Badger part?
Well, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room and some sort of confrontation. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir.
I still feel like there's something hidden in this video, but we'll find out.
So, his face isn't very clear in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened a locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
I don't know about that part, though. What's this about a finger? What's it? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
I don't know where we're going with this whole thing. But I'll just start with contradictions. That's what I'm good at.
Cross-examination, mystery man. His face can't be seen clearly. Okay, so his whole stick is that he opened the locker which belonged to Detective Goodman, right? Maybe we could like fast forward this clip or something. But yeah, all I know is the light was on. Doesn't the light mean that it's unlocked already? Not to mention, the locker over there doesn't have the little paper slip in it, right? Okay, that's where the glove fell, right? So maybe the glove was keeping the door unlocked. That's when Meekins approaches the guy and they get into the altercation, right? Looks like there was a wound on the guy's shoulder. And then there's Officer Meekins and the locker's up, but where's the guy? Did he avoid the camera on purpose? And then there's the big kicker, that thing. Okay, and then it just replays back, right? Let me ask him this. It must be him, no one else could have unlocked it. However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the suspect here being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. You are clearly unsettled in this footage. That is, yes. Unless the defense can find a problem with the footage. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? I think there is. Well, regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange.
Strange. Let's make a quick save in case I fail this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. See, this contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman at all. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Objection. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out, wouldn't he? Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. Huh. First time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. I believe in you. You can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video, so, you know. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thingy. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video. There's already enough to experience it. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Okay, fast forward. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think it's this right here. Take that. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? Well, see, as I understand it, the locker apparatus... Who's playing... Did someone forget to lock up the Blue Badger again? It's playing this theme song again. Alright. Here, the locker works like this, right? Or at least according to Gumshoe. Yeah, when you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. Like that. And then the light turns on and the lock is released. That was right, there's a photo in his locker, and that's of Maggie, which is a fellow cop, I believe, or officer. She gets introduced in a later game. According to my very limited experience, yes, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. Is it really just gonna go play throughout the whole entire thing? You see, when the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, if we rewind just a little bit earlier... Here. Do you see that light there? What's this? It's already lit. Damn, lit like 420. That's precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this, I ask you? Well, it's very simple, Your Honor. That locker wasn't actually locked on the day of the crime. Objection! But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, maybe it broke down. I mean, I'm not an expert in this, but... That's not likely, Your Honor. That sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well. Just goes to show, novices should keep their mouths shut, yeah? So then, Mr. Wright, you, novice? Do you have an explanation? But me, Your Honor? Yeah, why wasn't the locker locked? I repeat, me, Your Honor, really? I have to answer this? See, you remember what you said about how novices shouldn't be speaking up? Hey, what do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Uh-huh. Well... Maybe, I don't know, like, something jammed the system's sensor? Something jammed the sensor? Huh. Yeah, think about it. There is something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, good guess. I mean, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well, we will inspect the video once more because we're clearly batshit blind. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. Yes, I know what it is. I saw him. There. Take this. Now, watch closely. This is a continuation of the part from earlier, right? What happened to the Blue Badger theme? God dang it, why does that thing have to be a block in the face? What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But, sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my... Objection. We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? Well, the sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? That sounds, whoa, quite raunchy. Why is the video playing back now? Does it really have to play back every time? See, this white thing wasn't inside the locker, it was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times, it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, that is but at the crime scene... Well, there actually might be something that fits that description. But, sir, by insulator, you don't mean... Yep. I think I know what that piece of evidence is for now. Very well, with the defense, please present the relevant evidence. What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? Obviously, it was this rubber glove here. Take that. I mean, take a look at this. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker, can we? Sir, it has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. I mean, I didn't, but isn't that right, Officer Meekins? Sir, it would appear so, sir. Order! 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 So, are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Objection. Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more.
The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. Another one? Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Oh, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this some sort of inside joke?
Very well, begin your other testimony.
What is he gonna say now?
What other evidence do they have that this is in fact Bruce Goodman?
Well, there's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card.
An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room that day? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases.
Special cases?
Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Ugh, just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Yeah, but my hair already does stand up on its end, so not much difference.
There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now let us move on to the cross-examination.
Okay, how do I prove that this ID, even though it was Bruce's, the victim here was not the actual victim? Okay, let me ask him this. The detective used this ID, right? Hold it. I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. So, don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Oh, maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions, so let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what you think? Well, I'm a bit confused. About what? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something as glaring as this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we got. Okay, well, I'm gonna save here, because I think the answer is pretty obvious. Objection! Now wait 1 second, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. Okay, well, look. I have the victim's ID card right here, you see? I mean, not actually here, but I have a document with it. Now, I found it at the crime scene. I mean, not this crime scene, the previous one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
No, I say crime scene, but I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department, okay? I'm referring to the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. See, I knew Edgeworth would have caught on to this, so why did he keep quiet? Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
The lost item report? Why, it's only half completed.
Yeah, but it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? Well, I can't say for sure, but it's a high possibility. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Order! So, what are you saying with all this?
Well, it only means one thing. I mean, it doesn't even require a genius here. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. That would explain why he panicked.
Order! Order, I say, order! Does the prosecution have a rebuttal?
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Okay. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Oh no, I don't like it when you say bravo. So, allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, I'm starting to see where this is going.
Well, that being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion here. If the victim in this video is not the victim, but a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of a murder. Yeah, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. Oh boy. This isn't gonna end well, is it? Well, it seems you've finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Can someone please explain to me, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has already done the explaining for me. In fact, he's pretty much done my job for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. The murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah, shit. Forgot about that. This guy ain't my client, Lana is. Huh. No wonder this testimony was so full of holes. This was Edgeworth's trap from the beginning, to eliminate the possibility that Goodman was murdered in the evidence room.
The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of one Detective Goodman. And I really don't believe this guy could have been murdered for a third time, hopefully. Yes, just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you gotta do something, or else Lana...
What do I do?
How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Is there anything I can object to? I don't know. You wanna wait and see what happens? I better pace myself. If I rush ahead, I might run into another chopper. Let's see what he's playing as for. But, Mr. Wright, if you don't do anything...
It seems the defense is out of ammunition. And the surrender flag has been raised. Your Honor, may we have your ruling now?
Don't give up, Mr. Wright. Get up and fight.
Okay. Objection.
One moment, Your Honor.
What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven yourself.
No, of course not.
But I almost walked into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? What trap?
This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. I think this did show that someone took something from the evidence locker. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor?
If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared in this case?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. I think we just caught him off guard. Now it's time to call a certain Texan Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, are you saying that... Yep, now's the time. Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness.
Oh, whom do you have in mind?
Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. Truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply.
Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify, what is his or her name?
One Jake Marshall, at your service. I mean, hopefully at our service. But why him? I don't know if I want to let the cat out of the bag just yet in front of Edgeworth. Well, he's in charge of the evidence room, so I feel we should hear what he has to say.
The prosecution agrees to the defense's request.
Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare.
Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time?
We will, Your Honor.
Court is now in recess.
I almost thought there was going to be a to be continued part. February 24, 11:32 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. I wonder if I should make a save here in case anything goes wrong. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? What does that mean? You called for Jake Marshall. Seems you figured something out. Well, I haven't actually figured anything out. I've just been following up on the clues. Lana, you know something, don't you? You know everything? Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us about it? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold and prickly like a cactus? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Well, guess I am. I'll come back later. See ya.
Hang on, wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
Hey, you've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run all around while on duty. Yeah, top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
Well, you better be, pal. Oh. Hey! Oh, I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor's guy.
That's okay. So have you brought what I asked?
The heck is going on with Gumshoe? You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. Wait, you just used my name so calmly like that? That against the law or something?
Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Oh, talk about crazy.
Wait, how did you get this message? Did she text you using my phone or something? You know, the SL9 incident? Wait, but Lana, isn't that... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here. You might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case.
Wait, Miss Sky, you were a witness? Files for the Joe Dark killings, solved 2 years ago.
Yeah, take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders, yeah. What? Now that I've got you your stuff, you're just gonna kick me out?
But, Emma, but why is your name here? Oh, wait, I didn't even look at this stuff. SL9 incident closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder. Sentence, death. Victims, Edward Jones, Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates. Wait, Jeb Bates? Huh. Bill Gates? I don't know. Jason Knight, Rachel Moss, Neil Marshall. Wait, Marshall? Neil Marshall. Is that Jake Marshall's brother or something? Let's see, trial date ahead. Prosecutor was Miles Edgeworth, right? Witnesses were Lana Sky and Emma Sky. Investigation Task Force. Executive Investigators Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Hang on. In a real world legal system, is an investigator allowed to be a witness? I feel like isn't that kind of sus? So besides the executive investigators, it was also head investigator Bruce Goodman, right, we know that, as well as assisted by investigators Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. Okay, so yeah. Emma, why is your name here as a witness? Huh? My name's in there, I don't know. Wait, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark? No. No, Lana. That's over with. No! And... Wait, Emma. No, she ran away. Know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Oh, sorry, Bella. I'm out of here. You deal with this on your own. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence, right? Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. But hang on, I'm missing my I'm missing my spunky little sidekick, Emma there. Oh, well, I guess maybe I can trade her in for her sister, Lana. I should take a closer look at this file in the meantime. Although it looks like a huge stack. Time to save. Alright. That was actually not too... Well, I guess the trial is a long one, but they split it up into separate parts. Yeah. That was today's trial in Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Episode 5. Where we had to crack down on Meekins there. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and yeah, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing besides... Actually, I thought about if I should play other games besides this game, but I don't know. I kind of want to wrap up this one. I think I've said that before, but yeah. Oh, you know, on a slightly unrelated note, there is a new Phoenix Wright game coming out, which is not actually new. It's more of a re-release of the 3DS spin-off series about Phoenix Wright's ancestor. But yeah, that game is being like remastered, like in this trilogy's same style of like clean drawn stuff. Although actually it's a 3DS game, so it can't be that drawn, right? I don't know. But those two games set in the past era are coming to Switch, and actually surprisingly also coming to PC. You can even pre-order on Steam. I wonder which version I should get. I don't know. But yeah, I'll see you guys later though. So just hang tight for now. As Lark saying, see you next stream. Bye for now.